Hi everyone, my name is Dini Abadi binti Zafrul and I am a student from Open University Malaysia at Bangi Learning Centre. My matriculation number is 010-705-770048-001. I am pursuing in Bachelor of Psychology with Honours. So, for this subject, OUMH1303, which is English for Oral Communication, I need to do a speech presentation about movies. And the title for this presentation is How Romantic Comedy Genre of Movies had been evolved over time. But before we started our history, let's have a brief explanation about what is romantic comedies movie. So basically, romantic comedy movies genre deals with love in a humorous way. It has been around for centuries, and throughout the history, this genre has always been fan favorite type of genre. So let's walk down to the memory lane to look at how this genre has been evolved over time. In 1920 until 1930, the very popular romantic comedy movie style was called comedies for manners. This kind of plot is like when a rich person falls in love with someone or not wealthy, and suddenly he sees the beauty of life without money. The movies that are able to relate to this plot are called Ombak Rindu, which is a Malaysian movie in 2011 and was directed by Osman Ali. These movies are all about Haris, who is a rich person and falls in love with Izzah, who is an ordinary person who lives in village. In early 1940s, the new type has been evolved in this romantic comedies genre, which called screwball comedies. Screwball comedies was reference to screwball in baseball, which means a ball that moves in an unexpected way. This type of genre was like opposite attract, such as when two people who has a different background or maybe has an incompatible first met, but suddenly they find attraction towards each other along the way. One of the movies that are able to relate to this plot is Pride and Prejudice in 1940, which an adaptation movie from Jane Austen novel. This movie was directed by Robert Z. Leonard, and it is about William Darcy and Elizabeth Bennet, who was not incompatible during their first met, but along the way they find attraction towards each other, and suddenly they fall in love and has their happy ending.
I'm afraid about the message from the Bingleys.
You mean they didn't send one?
They didn't send one.
Next, let's move to the next genre, which is radical romantic comedy. This type of comedy was very popular in 1970. In this era, people stopped viewing romantic comedy the way they had previously. In this genre, people did not seek for true love in another person, while they focused on their personal happiness. La La Land in 2016 was directed by Damien Chazelle, was very relatable to this kind of plot because Sebastian and Mia did not end up together, but they still find their own happiness.
Shattered on the white cloth, everybody moved on.
Last but not least, romantic comedies movies has been evolved to neo-traditional romantic comedies. This type of movies follow the typical romantic comedy structure, such as boy meets the girl, boy loses the girl, but at the end boy gets the girl back. Or else maybe when the couples in the movies facing a problems, but they still are able to solve it and have their happy endings. One of the movies that are able to relate to this plot was from Philippines, which called The House of Us in 2018. This movie was directed by Katy Garcia Sempana. This movie is about George and Primo, who had been in 7 years relationship, but then because of Primo's lack of responsibility, they need to have their separate ways. But at the end, they still end up together.
Napakaraming beses na pwede ako sumuko, pero hindi ko ginawa.
So, in conclusion, romantic comedies genre in movies has been evolved over time, from comedies of manners and moved to screwball comedies, to radical romantic comedies, and the last one is neo-traditional romantic comedies. Even though romantic comedy genre in movies has changed throughout the years, but there is still one thing that stayed the same, which is we are a society that believes in love. So that is all from me. Thank you for watching.